You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our source today, OCTA Research Group Fellow Guido David. Dr. David, welcome back to The Source. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again, Pinky. And unfortunately, I think I'm here again because of some rather bad news.
It's good to see you again, and yet it's not so good to see you because we need to talk about this. The positivity rate as of May 2, now at 19.7%. That's almost 20% from 12.7% the week before. So that's a big jump. What is, with this number, what is your forecast on the positivity rate for next week?
Pinky, it could go as high as 25%. And just to put it in context, the highest we've seen in NCR was last year in January of 2022. We reached more than 50% positivity rate. That was with the Omicron, the first Omicron wave. And then the second highest we've seen so far was around 25% with the Delta. That was the Delta wave back in 2021. So this might be on track to be the second or third highest wave we've had in the NCR.
Okay. It's alarming when we compare this 25% as the time that Delta hit the country. Sometime, did you say 2020 or 2021?
Yes.
Okay, 2020. All right.
2021, yes.
Sorry, 2021. But there's definitely, I know we're just talking about positivity rate, but the severity of the cases during Delta, very different from this, what is happening now. So kung umabot po tayo ng 25%, when? Are you talking about week on week from 19.7% last week? Are we looking at an average to 25% the week after?
Yes, that's correct, Pinky. We might reach 25% by this time next week. I hope it doesn't, but I mean, these are just projections. So what that means is that the level of infection could be close to what we saw in the Delta. The difference, you're correct, is that a lot of the cases now are not severe, but that does not mean that we don't have severe cases, and we still have severe cases. Hospitals will not become overloaded, but many people will catch the virus. And for me, if we can avoid catching the virus, why not?
And when we talk about the numbers all the time, as you mentioned a while ago, we need to talk about the hospital utilization. What is the number that you're seeing now?
For hospital utilization right now in Metro Manila, it's at it's around 24% hospital utilization. So it's not that high, but it's increasing slightly. It was just 23% a few days ago. So it's almost at 25%. So hospitals are not in danger of becoming full. But then there are other considerations, like we mentioned. Based on what I heard, some people who have gotten COVID recently, what they tell me is that the feeling is a bit heavier, or in other words, parang mas mabigat yung symptoms na nararamdaman nila. It's not severe, but they have fever, they have body ache, they have sore throat, they have all these symptoms that they're feeling.
Yeah. So we've talked about this many times, but even at 23%. Hospital utilization to almost 25% hospital rate utilization now, alam naman natin na madali na rin itong umakyat kasi in many areas, our hospital beds are, konti lang naman yung hospital beds natin. In some areas, mas madami siya. In other words, this can change easily because we're not looking at, we don't have so many beds in so many hospitals at that. But Dr. David, I wanted to find out from you, the IATF did not recommend, despite all this, the mask mandate. Do you think that was right?
Well, I generally believe that we should know already how to protect ourselves. So, I think the mandates can be studied. I mean, of course, we have to do it quickly if we're to reverse that. And the government did acknowledge that local governments have the option, if they want to introduce these mandates again. So it's not out of the table. So I think the key here is that the situation is different all over the country. So in some cases, in some places, the positivity rate has risen, but there are places wherein the positivity rate is still very manageable. Like, for example, in Central Visayas,
right.
Just as an example, or Mindanao, where it's still low. So maybe it's not necessary to mandate it, but I think what we have to focus on is bringing awareness back to the public. And I think there's a lot of complacency because a lot of the public, much of the public, believe that it's no longer a threat.
Yeah.
And I have heard of a case of a couple who remained unvaccinated because they believe that COVID is mild, and unfortunately they got it, and it didn't end up well.
Wow.
And it's sad to hear about situations or cases like that.
Okay. OCTA Research Fellow Guido David, sir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Pinky.
Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.